Hey everyone, we've got a major update on the so-called $5,000 Doge Dividend Checkup proposal that some people have even called a stimulus check. Since our last update, new details have emerged, and the conversation has only grown more intense. This proposal has sparked political debates, financial scrutiny, and a lot of confusion. Many of you have been asking, is this actually happening? How much money could we actually get? Who qualifies? And if you're hearing about this for the first time, you're probably wondering, what even is this? So today, we're covering everything you need to know, including the latest payout estimates, eligibility requirements, and the growing resistance in Congress. Before we get into it, if you want to stay informed on financial news that affects you, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any updates. What is a Doge Dividend Check? The Doge Dividend Check is part of a proposal from the Department of Government Efficiency Doge, an initiative launched under President Donald Trump and currently overseen by Elon Musk. The goal? Cut government spending and return some of the savings directly to taxpayers. The plan aims to reduce government waste, incentivize fiscal responsibility, rebuild public trust in government spending. Under the original proposal, if the government saved $1 trillion over 2 years, 20% of that, for $100 billion, would be distributed to taxpayers. That would mean checks of up to $5,000 per household. But here's the important part: that number is not guaranteed. Right now, the identified savings stand at $115 billion, which means if payments were sent today, the payout would be around $140 per person. That's a big difference from the $5,000 some were expecting. And even if savings increase, the final amount could still fluctuate based on how much is actually cut from the budget. How the payout works and who qualifies. Know that we understand the basics. Let's talk about how much money you might actually get. The payout is directly tied to how much the government can actually save. If Doge saves $1 trillion, the checks would be around $2,500 per household. If savings reach $500 billion, the payout would be $1,250 per household. With $115 billion saved so far, the current estimated check is just $140 per person. So while the plan was pitched as a potential $5,000 windfall, the actual amount is much lower at this point. Who qualifies? Originally, there was speculation that only people earning at least $40,000 per year would be eligible, but that's no longer the case. The latest version of the plan includes anyone who files a federal tax return, meaning Social Security recipients, Veterans Affairs beneficiaries, lower-income workers, undocumented immigrants are not eligible, even if they pay taxes. This part of the proposal has sparked major controversy because reports showed that undocumented immigrants contributed $96.7 billion in taxes in 2022 alone. James Fishback, CEO of Azoria and a key figure behind this proposal, has been clear: illegal immigrants are never going to get a Doge dividend. Critics argue that this ignores the billions in taxes undocumented workers pay, while supporters believe the program should only benefit U.S. citizens. But even if you qualify, there's still a big hurdle: Congress has to approve it. Let's talk about why that's a major challenge: is political debate and what happens next even if the government hits its savings goals. The Doge dividend check still needs congressional approval, and that's where things get complicated. House Speaker Mike Johnson and other fiscal conservatives argue that any savings should be used to pay down the national debt, not be sent out as direct payments. Right now, the U.S. federal deficit is at $36 trillion. Some lawmakers believe that issuing checks, even from savings, would only make things worse. Senator Ron Johnson went even further, saying on social media, the waste, fraud, and abuse Doge is uncovering should be used to reduce spending so we can balance the budget. However, James Fishback argues that this plan actually helps with the deficit because 80% of the savings would still go toward reducing government debt. He also says that sending some money back to taxpayers is necessary to rebuild public trust. According to recent surveys, nearly 70% of Americans believe the government misuses tax dollars. But does this plan actually work? Critics say no. The Congressional Budget Office reports that federal spending has actually increased since Doge was introduced. 40% of the identified savings aren't actual savings, but include program shutdowns and funds that were already spent. Brendan Duke, a senior budget policy expert, has been especially critical, saying, the Doge dividend idea is completely unrealistic. Congress, not Elon Musk or Donald Trump, determines federal spending. And that brings us to the biggest question: what happens next? Right now, there is no official bill tied to this plan. There is no confirmation that Congress will even consider it. If it does move forward, the earliest possible payouts wouldn't be until 2026. So for now, the Doge dividend check remains just a proposal. Final thoughts. So what do you think? Should these savings go back to taxpayers as direct payments, or should they be used to pay down the national debt? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this update helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the latest updates on this and other financial news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.